Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular. Welcome to your mystery reading. The first thing that we're going to do is shuffle a card from the Magical Dogs Tarot to get the context or the general energy of your reading. If you'd like to be a part of the community that I'm trying to create, subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you're interested, no, you cannot find me on TikTok. It's going to take me a minute to stop saying that if you haven't been around. But yeah, before I get you your first card, remember that this is a general reading that could be meant for more than one person. So if you're struggling to find meaning in a message, that's okay. Just let it go, because it might just be meant for someone else. And if it truly was meant for you, the universe and your spirit guides will make that obvious to you either sometime during this reading or sometime during your journey. A lot of messages have been coming through. I just saw 111 telling me to trust myself. Maybe that's also a message for you to trust yourself. There are so many messages coming through. I just saw 122, 123. So change starts with you, and trust that everything happens for a reason. I feel like whoever's watching this is supposed to transform and have those internal changes manifest as external changes. I also feel called to show you this card, the storm with a tornado image. I feel called to show you this card because I had a dream last night. Dreams in general could be significant, but I had a dream last night with like big tornadoes. I live in Ohio in America, and tornado season has been very crazy this year. We usually do get tornadoes in Ohio, but not a whole lot, and nothing really too crazy. So I just felt called to show this card. Especially, like, I saw that card when I was setting up the cards on my bed next to me. I saw that card by accident whenever I I split it into two decks. So I took some cards from one deck and took it to the other, and on top, that card was there. And with having the dream with the tornadoes, that feels very, very significant. So you could feel or be around a very, very destructive energy, and I feel like the storm here represents some upheaval or a tower moment or changes that require courage. And I'm also feeling there's something significant here about rainbows. After a storm, there's a rainbow. And I saw 321, so I feel like rainbows are a significant sign or symbol for someone, whether you know it or not. Only take it if it resonates. I also just saw 333. So there's a very strong energy here of expansion and growth. I'm also thinking of your throat chakra, because before recording this video, if you couldn't tell by how many times I've cleared my throat and stuff like that, my throat has felt very dry. So I'm definitely thinking of throat chakra, using your voice. I feel like using your voice is going to initiate this upheaval. And I also feel like it feels more significant for your home life, but there could also be upheavals in, smaller tower moments and other aspects of your life. This storm energy is a destructive energy, but like a tornado, there's something beautiful about it. We can't take our eyes off of it. Or at least for me personally, I think it would be really cool to see a tornado in person, but to put myself in that kind of danger sounds kind of terrifying. So I don't know. I just saw 432, but trust that everything happens for a reason anyway, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and get you your first card, which is the Queen of Cups. And I just saw 444, so it definitely feels like there's some sort of destruction, upheaval, or breakdown happening at home or with your job, with your stability in some way, your money. 456. You're dealing with this destruction for a reason. With this, I almost wanted to say High Priestess, but with this Queen of Cups, there's definitely something here about following your intuition and really connecting with your emotions more, your thoughts, your inner worlds, what your fiery, passionate energy and, you know, what means the most to you. There's definitely a strong energy here of standing up for yourselves. The Seven of Wands could be a significant card for somebody. The number 7 is a message that the more, or a reminder really, that the more that you invest in your mental health, your healing, your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, your faith, the more that you are able to receive from the universe. It's funny because, like, to receive more from the universe, you have to heal and change and evolve, but society, like, works in a way where, oh, healing is a bad thing and that makes you weak, or, you know, whatever stupid stuff like that. It's like the way humanity works right now works completely against our true nature in some way. Maybe there's something about the system, like government, the way things work somehow. Something is off. Maybe you sense that. Especially like at home, like you can kind of see what's going on in the world at home, if that makes sense. So if anything, you're definitely not alone. Especially with this storm energy, I feel like in general humanity is going through, I guess, what they would call a mass awakening. You know? Like, you gotta think about it like micro and macro. We have to, for all of us as a whole, 1 second. For all of us as a whole to live in peace, we first need to how to live in peace in peace in our own lives. There's this saying that I can't think of. I think it's by this guy named Tao, T-A-O, or something like that. Like, he says something about how, you know, it all starts at home because everything is connected. So maybe there's definitely something here about really seeing how interconnected and dependent and abundant we are together. And, you know, maybe you already pick up on this stuff because the Queen of Cups is an intuitive type of energy. It really just depends where you're at on this journey. But no matter where you are, follow where you feel called. And if you're being misled, you'll find out. And you'll learn. And you'll grow. And you'll move on. And you'll move on to better. I'm definitely, like, getting, like, the universe wants you to have this attitude of growth type of mindset. Just growth in general, focusing on that feels significant because it's eventually going to lead to expansion and that you as a person healing and getting your shit together pretty much. It's like you're one piece of the puzzle and each person is a piece of this big puzzle that we have to put together one piece at a time. I really hope that makes sense, but there's definitely some, very much for sure, some bigger picture thinking here. So if you have a dream, if you have a wish, if you feel called to be a leader, do it. Follow your passions. Follow what makes you happy, what makes you feel in harmony or in flow. I think to address external storms, like metaphorically, you need to address the internal storms. To address conflict in your external reality, you need to address that conflict going on within yourself. You need to make a decision. Are you going to choose self-love or are you going to choose self-destruction? It's like Judgment Day vibes. Like, it feels like someone here is being presented with a decision. And this decision is really going to say a lot about where you are and where you need to be headed. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card from the Ancestor Spirit Oracle to see what your ancestors have to say about this energy. And I did see 1010. So your ancestors, they really, really want to connect with you, along with maybe some other spirit guides and the universe, source, God, whatever you believe in. I just saw 122 and 123 again. I don't see these numbers all the time. Like, it's just everything happens for a reason. Someone here is really being called to be the change that they wish to see, and to really just trust that everything happens for a reason. The universe is asking you to trust me. If you follow the truth and try your best, you can trust me because I can trust you. That's like what the universe is saying to you. So I do feel someone here might have the opportunity to repair their relationship with the universe or their faith, and they're encouraging you to embrace this opportunity, especially because, like, you deserve to be at peace, and you deserve to enjoy what life has to offer for both, good and bad. I just saw 1111. So the energy of dreams and wishes, especially with my recent post on the community tab on my channel, dreams, someone here has a big dream. I don't know, maybe everybody has dreams. I don't know. Let me just get the message that's trying to come out. Someone here has a big dream, and it's going to take a storm to get there. But the storm is not as scary as you think. You are so much more capable than you think. Like, whoever's watching this, you are meant to be a leader and just a force that creates change. And I saw 123. You are meant to be that force for a reason. For the Ancestor card, we have explore your creative side, visualize, paint, and record. I also just felt or heard masculine while I was saying that. So maybe there's a need here to focus on your masculine energy, being more connected with the physical world. I think connecting with your creativity and how you feel called to express yourself. I think that is really going to have a strong grounding effect on you. And I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to have that strong grounding effect on you for a reason. You'll be in flow where you're meant to be. You are a child of the universe. You're meant to be here. The universe wants us to create, to express ourselves, to create art. Technically the universe creates art. I would argue. You can disagree, but if you don't know, I think we're all meant to express ourselves. I just saw 1313, so a sign of good luck and good fortune. I feel like we're all meant to express ourselves, and we really just need to discover what is the best way that we know how to communicate how we feel. Is it music? Is it writing? It feels like an art form. And I saw 333. I think healing is really going to give you some interesting outcome or pieces if you do art or whatever. There's something really interesting here about expressing yourself. Maybe even kind of mysterious. Maybe there's a creative thing here that you feel called, that feels linked to your purpose. If you feel called to be a content creator, or, not all of us are going to feel called to be that, but yeah, regardless of where you feel called to, whatever you're passionate about, that's all the universe just wants you to focus on. And, understanding what obstacles are in your way and how you can overcome them, because anything is possible. The only thing that ever really stands in the way is fear, and sometimes that fear is just in our head. I saw 432. Sometimes we just overthink. But I also feel like maybe there's some ancestors coming through. Don't be mad at your family. Be mad at history and time, but not in a self-destructive way. Honestly, I would kind of say, you know, be mad but find peace, you know? Just don't blame anyone for something that they can't control. Don't blame yourself for things that you can't control, or you'll attract people who will blame you for things that you can't control. I just saw 1515, so there is this energy of attachment. This attachment that, you know, you could have an attachment, or it could be like someone else has an attachment to you, or something else has an attachment to you. In general, this attachment needs to turn into detachment. And I think healing and exploring your creative side is really just going to be a product of that. Maybe literally something you can sell. Sell 543. Trust that everything happens for a reason. To wrap up your reading, I am going to get a card from these index cards. I literally just intentionally not looked at the clock when 555 came up because so many messages were coming through. But 555 is very relevant for this tornado, stormy type of energy, because 555 represents change. With change comes loss, but there's also renewal. And I think the universe right now wants you to focus more on what there is to gain from loss right now, rather than what there is to lose. Definitely. Something about that could be very healing for someone. Wow. We have, is it gonna focus? Trust yourself. It's pretty relevant, actually. I think trusting yourself is what's gonna cause this upheaval or storm type of energy. But I don't know if your anxiety is exactly, if you feel anxiety, I don't know if it's a true representation of like real fear or fear that's in your head. That's for you to decide. Literally, that's what this trust yourself card is for. Like, actually, this trust yourself energy is very, very relevant with the Queen of Cups here. Just wherever you feel called to go, whatever decisions you feel called to make, trust yourself. Definitely there could be a specific message here to make sure you are making your decisions and you're not just doing something because someone has approved of it. You know? Maybe there's wounds here around being judged or rejected, and you need to learn how to be open to that again, so that way you don't deprive yourself of acceptance and understanding. That was a really interesting message to come through. But this visualize, actually painting could be a very specific art thing for someone. It doesn't have to be. Record or record makes me think of music or writing. And this visualize in general, no matter who's watching this, if you have a dream, you have a vision. You know what you want. You know where you want to go. You know where you want to create. So maybe for you it's more just about making the right decisions and making sure nothing distracts you from that vision. Okay, but that will be the end of your reading. I really hope that it was helpful or relevant in some way. If you liked it, hit the like button to show me that. That is the best way to support me. And if you'd like to offer even more support, you can do so by donating through the thanks button directly below the video. Absolutely not obligated, but always very much appreciated. Feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any. I'd really, really love to connect with you more. And thank you very much to those of you who have shown your support thus far. It really means a lot to me, and it really, really has made a difference. And the last thing that I want to say is thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.